は川端、バック操縦士は小川、私は客室を担当いたします大森でございます。携帯電話など電波を発する電子機器の使用は法律で禁じられております。機内モードなどに設定するか電源をお切りください。
The Paper Seahorse is a studio for creativity and mindfulness. It is a place that came out of my heart because I wanted people to slow down and reconnect, mainly, first of all, to themselves and then to other people. It gives people an opportunity to meet other like-minded people and stepping away from a screen. I think that everybody needs a digital detox in their life. Life moves really fast, and sometimes it can go so fast that you'll miss things, and it's all the little things that make life worthwhile. And that's why we have the Paper Seahorse and all the people that come here and add to it. And so we'll have journaling meetups with travelers' notebooks. So many people are in love with the brand. It's the attention to detail. It's the consistency and the quality and the creativity. They've thought of everything. I feel like people are very loyal. There's a range of people and the way they use the notebook, which makes it very interesting because they're very creative in different ways. And having all the meetups that we've had, every single time we meet someone who uses the notebook in a different way. And the reasons why and how they do it, and it's men and women. That's fascinating. I like to use mine for letter writing. I think there's many different ways. I mean, there's people who have probably like 15 different notebooks for 15 different things that they're doing. It's a system that is so flexible, it can work for almost anything and inspire almost anything. And the spirit of being adventurous and being open to anything and being able to be free to do whatever you want or make any kind of system or have no system. And the idea that life is a journey, because it is, and there's all kinds of different things you need at different times of your life and in different situations. Free Spirit, Wild Heart is what I called this meetup, because for me, Free Spirit, Wild Heart is all about you need to be open to different things that'll happen in life. I think everybody would like to feel that they're brave. It seems all the promise and fun of travel. That's the idea of having an adventurous heart and having an adventurous spirit. So I went to Japan for my birthday. It was a big birthday. And well, going to Japan will make you fall in love with stationery all over again. Right before we left, I reached out to travelers. As luck would have it, we were able to meet with them the last day we were there. They asked us a bunch of questions about the brand and the shop and the store and just life in general. The design team and the people there, they're just as thoughtful and as buttoned up as the actual physical products that you see. I just believe in them from soup to nuts. They're like the real deal, and I think they care. I feel like they're very authentic in who they are and what they do. It was neat, and it was an honor to meet them and to go on a tour and see the factory and all that and make personal connection, but it also enabled us later to become a store that partners with them and believes in them, and they trust us and we trust them and it's amazing to work with them.
And an incredible letterer. And she created that. And we actually have a rubber stamp made. We have an entire stamping bar. So when you do come to visit, you're going to be able to use all those stamps in your notebook. And then I believe that we need to keep joy in our heart all the time, especially right now. And this is part of a creative project I did in 2020. And my friend, who's actually here today, Cindy, she encouraged me to do something with it. And as luck would have it, it became a postcard and it became a piece that's in your kit. But it's really, now more than ever, I believe that keeping joy in your heart is the key to everything. So we are a partner shop. There's only a few of us in the world, and we're very lucky and excited about that. And we put in some of those goodies for you. There is a refill for a short trip. These come in a couple of different styles, cream, white, and craft. And then I put in a passport size piece, because some people have a regular notebook, but they don't have the passport, and it's such a great size. And there are several colorful refills, and this is craft paper. And so I wanted people to be able to experience that. And then what would a trip be without your notebook having its own luggage tag? And so I gave everybody a tag for their notebooks. And then this piece here, every single one is different. It's vintage and modern, and it's just some ephemera. And we'll be talking about this in the make and take. And then this is a sample of the double-sided stickers. And we'll go around and find out who's been able to use those or not. They're very handy. And then the last piece that's in this are the traveler's times. And I don't know if any of you are familiar or if you've seen these. Traveler's Times comes out once a year, and it's a beautiful, gorgeous newsletter, and it has product information, company information, and it also features fellow users just like yourself. And it's incredibly inspiring. And this is the new one. They just celebrated their 15th anniversary last year. It comes out in Japanese first. And so then we always have to wait. And everyone's like, oh, are we going to get it? Are we going to get it? And then we finally do. And I try and stock these as much as possible so that I can have them. If you order online, I like to put them in some of the orders if we have them. And then when people come to visit the shop, it's great because then I can actually show it to them and give it to them. So that is what is in your kit. So now, as we would do in person, we are doing a giveaway. And so I'm going to let Danny, it says my name, but it's really Danny. I couldn't figure out how to change her name, just letting you know that. So Danny.
Hello, everyone. And we're doing the Free Spirit one first, Tona.
Yes.
So I'm going to put the giveaway here. Can everyone see this? I'm seeing nose. Is that a little better? So a lot of stuff. And what you should have in your ticket, if everyone will pull out your little glycine envelope, your ticket's in there. And on the back, does anyone have Free Spirit? Do we have a winner anywhere?
Yes, I think no. Everybody's showing.
Yeah, so if you have on the back of your ticket Free Spirit and your large ticket. No?
Maybe it's one of the 4 people that are here.
Of course it would be.
And it was totally random too. I was going to call Trivia,
going to start the portion that I love the most, which is we get to share. And we have a little bit of a smaller group here, so hopefully everybody will be able to share and maybe introduce themselves and tell us a little bit more about, what made them come here. So is there anybody who would like to go first? Just raise your hand.
Tona, I've got someone who says they can't hear you. Carmody, can you hear us now? Is that any better?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Great.
Sorry, thank you.
So raise your hand if there's somebody who would like to start. If people are shy, I can go first, but oh, good.
Yeah, I'll do it, because when somebody else starts showing theirs, then I go, oh man, theirs is so cool. So I'll go first. So, well, I've been doing, I don't know, however long Tona's been around. That's when I started journaling. And I start and stop and things work out and they don't work out. But learning how to collage has been something that helped me a lot. Move a lot, fill up my pages, and I like to put in inspirational quotes, or I've got some great little pins I like to work with, and I use those. But I heard people talking about just starting to fill up their pages before they started journaling. And that is helpful to me, because I don't feel overwhelmed by filling up the spot. But then I must have been very chatty there for a couple of weeks, because I had a lot to write down. And another one, I'm trying to learn how to make stickers on my Cricut. So I put the ones that didn't work out in there, but I've been doing some collaging over at the Seahorse with a group there. And I did not know how much fun that was. And then I like to doodle. So this was a page that I just needed to fill up. So I was on a phone call and filled that page up. And again, this one, I kind of like the way it turned out, because I see other people that just, I don't know, they have little sections all over their pages, and there's writing and there's art. And I'm like, wow, that's awesome. Well, this must have been a good week too. This was the week of my husband's birthday, and somebody sent us an old picture of us. So I put that in there. And then I had visitors in my backyard, which is a big deal around here, because I've been pretty away from people mostly. And so I had visitors. So I did their pictures and put them in there. I don't know what else is on there. Oh, we had a thunderstorm that week, which I was really happy about. And so I have a couple. I used this one, and I just recently got the blue one. I think it's blue. Tona, tell me it's blue. And I think it's going to be for art, inspired by Linda, because she's such a great artist. But that's it. That's all I have to share. Just a little bit.
Okay, that was great, Cindy.
Thank you.
I really like all of your doodling. That was the best part.
Yeah,
so
it was fun.
Yeah. So how many notebooks do you have?
Sorry, I have, well, maybe I have like 4, because I have a couple of the little passport sizes, and then I have the regular size. Oh yeah. Is this it? I have. Oh,
So
no, yeah.
Raise your hand if you have 5 notebooks or more.
5 or
Is there
more?
anybody that has 5 notebooks? I'm scrolling through so I can see everybody.
Yeah, we've got about half folks, Tona. That's wonderful.
Yeah, that's great. So who has, yes, so I have 5. Now, is there anybody who has 7? Oh, okay. Let's go to 9. Is there anybody that has 9 notebooks? Oh, wow. That's amazing. Okay. So do you have 11? I'm gonna see how many people have.
Trying to find out who has the most.
Okay, Jane, how many do you have? You're gonna need to
Hi,
unmute
everybody.
yourself.
Well, first, thank you for hosting this. I'm in Brussels right now. I split my time living between Brussels and Philadelphia. So I've never been to the Paper Seahorse, but I order from you and I love you and I thank you. I've been doing traveler's notebooks on a monthly basis for over 5 years. So I used to be a 12 by 12 inch scrapbooker when my kid was little. And then I realized who has enough room for those, and switched to this when my daughter turned 21. She's 26 now, but I do these every month. So this was February, and I do every day a page. I'll print out a picture from my Sprocket printer. So I believe in getting photos off of your camera. And then this is some stuff from Brussels, Life, and then I went back to Philadelphia. There's from the Magritte Museum. But my favorite way to use a traveler's notebook is for traveling. So for me, my Disneyland is Italy. And so this was my most recent Italy book from November, where we went the week of American Thanksgiving. But I love to use like the Italian marble paper. Wherever I go, I pick up ephemera like you all do. So it's fun to put in different ephemera from different places, tickets, restaurant cards, photos of friends. But I really think it's important to get your pictures off of your camera. Ice cream, ice cream, ice cream, in Italy, of course. But for me, it's become, in the pandemic, especially, sort of art therapy every day, being grateful for something, being mindful, as you said, Tona, in your introduction. So I just want to thank you for facilitating this and enabling us to be together, because, we haven't been able to be together. And I especially appreciate it because I'm not geographically in Tampa. So thank you again. And I'm really appreciating all of you being here and letting me share your time 5 hours later than the East Coast. So thank you. I'll mute now.
Thank you, Jane. That was so inspiring. And that's another reason why we should do these more often, is because you're in Brussels and we're here in Tampa, Florida, and that is the coolest thing ever. So we get to travel to where you are a little bit, and you get to travel here. And that's the whole point of this, right? So I love that. I love that. And I love that you are creative every single day, because if you can see behind me, creativity takes courage, and it's just picking up scissors or a pen or a glue stick, and who cares? Nobody's going to see it. I'm just going to make it. I think it's the best therapy there is. That and talk therapy, which is what we're doing now. So yeah, I think that's great. So who else? Let's see. Is it Alyssa said that she would like to share? Alyssa, are you here? Do you want to unmute yourself, Alyssa?
Yeah, hello, how are y'all today?
Good, good.
Great. I am Alyssa, better known as Planning with Style on Instagram and Twitch. And I have been using the Traveler's Company notebook for only about a year now, and I am definitely hooked. I use my notebook for daily planning, but also for collage journaling. So I will make different collages and then just write out basically what's going on in my life that day. Unfortunately, I didn't jump on the Traveler's Notebook train until after COVID. So I haven't been able to do any traveling with it, but I am looking forward to doing that here coming up pretty soon. I'm going back to my hometown in Arkansas to visit for a little bit. So I'm excited to try it with a little traveling in mind too. I have quite a few notebooks, but I also like to do memory keeping in the weekly vertical insert. And I like to do a little collaging in there as well. Just sort of keeping track of, I have a 7-year-old daughter and 4 fur kids and a husband. So just keeping up with like those extra special memories that I'm going to want to pass down to her and share. So that's it.
That's great. That's actually the first time I've seen someone use the vertical in that manner. So that's great, because I've only seen people use it, you know, just, I don't know, yours is beautiful. So thank you for sharing. And it is going to be a wonderful piece of you that your daughter's going to get later. I know, because my mom passed away 17 years ago. And when I see her handwriting or I see notes, she was an artist, or I see her sketches, I've saved all of that. And she was a big journaler for many years. I have an entire chest and I haven't read them. I'm waiting for later in life, and then I'm going to sit there and I'm going to read every single one. But sometimes I'll just see her handwriting. And then like the notebooks, this is really getting geeky. I can smell the house, the room, her perfume. It's crazy how you can remember those things. So I do think it's important. At the time, it might not seem like it is, but you'll be glad you took the time to do that. I tell my own daughter that too with her daughters. So, okay, let's see. Karen wanted to share.
Okay.
If you want to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I just did. Hopefully you can hear me. I have been using traveler's notebooks probably for at least 5 years. I don't know exactly. I use them for all kinds of things. I've got lists of quotes. I've got our next home, where we want to live. I keep notes on shows and videos and things I read about different locations. But and book. I've got a book challenge notebook from a couple of years. Primarily though, I use them similar to the last person. I use them for journaling, and I put in all kinds of stickers and ephemera. This is from 2019. And I was using a lot of, I didn't use photos here. I used mostly stickers and things that I found along the way. But in the last couple of years, I've been putting little photos in them. So there's a couple photos down here. This is not a traveler's notebook. This is a custom one made of all different kinds of paper that I bought online. And you can see it's, we've got maps in here and all kinds of tickets and all kinds of fun, different kinds of papers, different sizes. So this has been a fun challenge this year. I decided instead of buying a new notebook, I was going to use something I already had, because I've got plenty of them in a drawer and I don't need to, I really don't need to be buying more of them. I wish I could journal every day. What I do is I write down notes on about the day on sticky notes. And then I put them, this is actually a green one that I just kept as is. Then I put them in the page and write the journaling later. Typically on the weekend, I spend several hours catching up. But it's really fun. It's very therapeutic. I love these meetups. I've been to a couple, of course, not in a while. But I really appreciate getting everyone together like this, all of us that love these Traveler's Notebook products. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, we're so glad that you could be here and share that with us. I think that it's interesting, you know, some photos, some stickers, some washi tape, like some people just do lettering. It it's great to see people explore their medium that they feel comfortable with, and then sometimes try new things too. So is there anybody else who'd like to share right now? Just want to raise your hand, or you can unmute yourself and just get started. Anybody
Hey,
else?
I would.
Okay.
Hi, Lucinda.
Hey, you can call me Cindy. I live in Memphis,
Okay.
Tennessee. I teach mixed media, creative aging here in Memphis. So all of my students are 65 or older. And a couple years ago, I got a traveler's notebook, a little one. And then the pandemic hit, and I just started going crazy with this stuff. My husband's ordered from you many times, so I have most of those newsletters. I just love them. And he goes to Tokyo every once in a while for work. So I'm hoping sometime I'll get to go with him. But I love collage. I get bogged down when I worry about my handwriting. So I try to tell a story. Let me hold this up. I try to tell a story with pictures. And sometimes I even will print things that I have to say up instead of writing them. But anyway, so, and then I just really enjoy making like what they call junk journals. And so I just have so much fun doing this. And then when I teach, we kind of do it according to, we kind of do the same thing, but we do it on a canvas. Because they call the class mixed media memories. I guess they think old people only want to do it if they can reminisce, but some people get very creative and they do fantastic pieces of artwork that don't look like scrapbook pages. That's the thing I like the best, is that it can be memories, but doesn't have to look that way. And then for a while, I was the president of a charitable organization. And so I had to keep track of everything I did. So
you can check everybody too.
This is a good example of how it's very, very little writing, but I used a lot of stickers and collage and things like that, just because it gets me motivated to be artistic and to go ahead and do something. But this is my traveler's notebook that I carry when I go to Savannah. My daughter's at the College of Art and Design, Savannah College of Art and Design there. And sometimes I just have a notebook that it's nothing but when we drink a bottle of wine, I take the label off and make it into a notebook. So, but I like to have one I always have at the ready in case we run to Savannah, and I keep all the little supplies in there. And my husband has been wonderful. I have a lot of things from you. So I have inserts and stickers and things like that. And it's just nice to have it, because then when you get creative, it's all right there. So I enjoy it. So he bought me this class. And I'm having a great time. Thank you.
Oh, that's great. You have a good husband. I
do.
Too.
You do too.
Yeah, you need a partner in crime sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's great. I love that you teach mixed media too. I think that that's one thing that from this and being a teacher and teaching classes is you learn so much from students and other participants in a class. And it's just, sometimes it's better.
Are mixed media, I think. They are mixed media. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's great. And I love that you actually use it for traveling too, when you get to travel. Okay, so who else would like to share? Is there anybody else?
Please,
And
I'm in Florence, Oregon, on the Oregon coast, Highway 101. So I'm a long ways away too, and miss Paper Seahorse every day. I'm doing something a little different with the Travels Journal. It may sound, I don't know what you'll think about it, but my son currently has cancer and he's in Brooklyn, New York. And my thought was to take 2 travelers' journals. I have one and he has one, and we do the coffee table type of of journaling, and we share later. He cannot have visitors for a good while. He's in chemo, heavy duty, and visitors are not, it's not good to have visitors now. So I thought, buy 2 travelers journals and then I'll begin by sending him things to think about. He's very artistic. He's an interior designer, but he needs that mindfulness task and to use his artistic thoughts and put them down, whether it has to do with his treatment, whatever. But so I'm about to embark on that project, and I'm getting a lot of ideas from you all. I'm a longtime journaler, and I use traveler's notebooks, but I also use the Filofax, and so I have way too many. I'm often giving them to others to use as well. So that's why I'm here, is to get those ideas and appreciate all the things that you're sharing. Thank you to Tona for doing this.
Thank you, Anne. I know that this is a challenging time, and you're going through it with the optimism that you always have, which I think is great. Just a little fun fact, Anne was our very first customer of Paper Seahorse all those years ago. She lived down the street, and we had this teeny tiny little area, and we had Squarespace, and I had made the site myself, and that was how far we've come, Anne. But I'm glad that
it's awesome.
Yeah, that you've moved, and that we can keep in touch. Anne is also a member of the Letter Writers. I don't know if you guys are Letter Write. We have a group called the Tampa Bay Letter Writers that met in person. And for the past 2 years, we've had to meet virtually like this. And Cindy and Danny are also members in the Letter Writers. And I highly encourage that if you have someone local, or there are more groups now over the past couple of years. And, you can join groups, because there's some groups that are just 100% virtual. And we've also shared with other groups and done swaps. And anyway, thank goodness we have technology now, because we can do these kinds of things.
I get mail almost every day.
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. We swap a lot, and it's a lot of fun. And that's another super, super creative group that is very inspiring. So if anybody ever wants to check that out, your first meeting is free. And then we're also thinking about doing something virtually once a month, so that we can have more people and maybe have a joint meeting with other groups. So
it's probably the most engaged group of letter writers that have met virtually that I've ever seen. And at Christmas time, it was pretty funny, because I'm going, and Tona has a beautiful, as you can imagine, studio at home, and she's sitting there and she's writing letters and drinking tea and listening to Christmas music. And then I find out there's a screen, and it's like a checkerboard, filled screen of other people that are writing letters, listening to music at the same time. So it was for me, that was pretty impressive, and it's a very, very active group. So if I highly encourage anyone in this group, even though it says Tampa Bay Letter Writers, it's pretty much open to anyone.
This year we're doing hybrid, so we're having some in person and some online. But even before COVID happened, everybody wanted us to do something online, just like this, so that people could come and join us. And so we're working towards that this year, because we can be meeting in person, but then we can have a room where there's people, and then, you can see what's going on. And you can also, we have a great program. We have different members that like to share different things, and we have topics and themes, and we explore those. And yes, we have very prolific writers.
I think Kathy has a question.
It wasn't so much a question as it was just, I live in a very rural area, so pandemic or no pandemic, it's still pretty rural. You can only get to where I live by 3 bridges, 2 tunnels, and a couple of seagulls. So it's just very heartwarming to me to hear that you're coming up with ways for people who are virtual. I have only been to Paper Seahorse in spirit. So it's really neat just even to see the behind you and to see the shop. So thank you. And I am a newbie. I haven't been to any of the meetups or anything. I stumbled upon you all through your Watercolor 101 workshop, because that was one of the first ones I think you made virtually or online. So thank you.
Oh, that's great, Kathy. Well, I'm glad you're here and you can join us. So we'll definitely reach out to you when we do those virtual events. So yeah. Is there anybody else who'd like to share anything? Amy.
Hi, everybody. It's so nice to see people who have just that writing spirit. I'm from San Diego, and I actually have a lot of different notebooks for different projects. And the TN is something that I do use to write, but not for some of my bigger projects. I'm a sociology professor, so I'm constantly writing all the time, and I'm actually working on a book right now. My favorite color is green, and so it's not a surprise that my favorite TN is the olive, and along with the fountain pen, everything is green. And I just actually just do a lot of just writing. I don't do a lot of decorating. So for example, it's just a lot about reflection and just getting my thoughts down. And when I really need to be a little bit creative, I do use my sketchbook. So I do have a little sketchbook from another organization where I just get some of my drawings out. This was in the spirit of Valentine's Day. Just getting, I guess, pages set up so that I can do some writing and working just on leaves and just learning, just how to draw again, like we were when we were kids. And because I love books, working on just this part here, just getting some ideas out to just get into that really kind of creative spirit. And when I do need to write a little bit more, I do use the Midori MD book, which this cover is from the Superior Labor, which is also a Japanese brand. And it really just has the writing space that is just wonderful. And if we were to pull out all of our traveler's notebooks, I would just say that the olive is my favorite, along with my camel, which really has a nice patina. But everything that I have is pretty much green. My mechanical pencil's green, my fountain pens are green. And it's just really nice, again, to meet up with people who just like to write. I do also travel a lot, but I've actually had a trip planned to Poland and Germany this summer, but it's pretty rough out there right now. And we are thinking about backing out. And I would say that the last trip that I went to that was major was South Africa, and that was in 2019. So I'm hoping to just get back out there again, but really nice to be able to meet up with people coming from San Diego on the West Coast. So it was a little bit early on our side, but thank you for having this. It's very special, and it's very nice to just talk to people and to see what they have in their inserts.
Well, that's great, Amy. I do appreciate everybody on the West Coast who got up early to be with us. We have also taken that into consideration going forward when we have more events to kind of do it so it's a little easier. I love that you're writing and exploring your creativity and making marks, because Traveler's Notebook actually helped me do that as well, which I think it's been that way for a lot of people. My favorite color is also green. The building here is green. Everything in my life is green. I am a gardener. I love green. I always have. So Alyssa's background is green, which is like the paper seahorse green. I was like, oh my God, I love your background. So yeah. And my favorite colored insert is green. And yes, I have an olive that I use every single day. And I love it so much that I bought a backup when it came out, because I thought, oh my God, if anything ever happens to that notebook, I will freak out. I'm also hoping and praying that maybe they'll bring it back as a permanent one, because they did that with Navy, and then they brought it back and it became permanent. So you never know, right? But anyway.
Although, as a tease for the next meetup, which will be bigger, we have a new olive that we found in stock that we're probably just going to be giving away as a prize for the next one. So stay tuned.
All right.
That's really good to hear.
So,
and
I ending up on eBay, right?
And that's really good to hear. And I will say that I hope it doesn't disadvantage those who don't have social media. I'm actually a person who doesn't have social media. So when there are usually giveaways, it's through social media. So I hope that giveaway doesn't disadvantage.
It is. Do you Right. Are you subscribed to the email list?
To your email list?
Yes.
Yes.
Because we were actually going to do that this spring. We've never done that before. It's strictly through email, and because it has been on social media, and it's hard. I mean, because I try not to repeat and post stuff over and over again. So if you miss it, you miss it, and anyway, it's a lot. But yes, we're on the same page because I was about to do the email. So all right. So is there anybody else who would like to share? Oh, is it Kaylin? Did I say that correctly? Okay.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
So I'm Kaylin. I started my Traveler's Notebook journey in 2015 when Traveler's Company was first splitting off from Midori Notebooks, and they did the collaboration with Pan Am. And in the intro video, when you saw the blue notebook that opened up to the Pan Am zipper pocket, that was mine. So it was really exciting to see my notebook in the video. But I do things a little differently. I use my full-size traveler's notebooks for traveling, and when I'm learning a language or something, I've learned Ukrainian and I'm currently learning Finnish. So I use my traveler's notebooks for learning language notes and things like that. But the thing that I do that's a little different, I also love the Midori MD notebooks. They are the best paper quality ever. So I actually bought one. I've done this to two so far that I cut down to B6 Slim size to fit the B6 Slim Midori MD notebooks, because I use that for my daily journaling. So you can see the size difference. And I kind of use mine as kind of like Indiana Jones style notebooks where you write down everything and you stick in like little bits of ephemera. Like this is a wrapper from a boba milk tea mochi that I got, just sticking stuff in and then writing out my thoughts and feelings. And I don't know if you can see it because my thing is blurred, but just putting all kinds of stuff and then writing everything. So yeah, that's what I do. I don't journal daily, but I journal every other day. So I'm pretty consistent with the journaling. This one that I cut down to B6 Slim, I've had for almost 2 months. This full size brown I've had for 5 years now. But I know you guys were talking about the olive being precious to you, but this blue one is the Pan Am original release. And I am so terrified of losing this that I won't take it traveling. But because I've been collecting Pan Am stuff since I was a kid. I have no idea why I love Pan Am so much. I just do. Their marketing and merchandising is brilliant. And when they teamed up with Traveler's Company, I had to get in on it. And it was my first Traveler's Notebook ever. And it sort of snowballed and became a bit of a problem. So I have 9 Traveler's Notebooks now. So yeah, I just use them for all kinds of stuff.
Caitlin, someone asked a question, how did you cut the leather down on?
Oh, I am an amateur leathersmith. So I took out the elastics. I opened up the tin clasp, untied the knots, took out the elastics, and I measured it. So I took a little bit off the top and the bottom so that the closure hole would still be in the middle, because I like it symmetrical like that. And then I just retied the elastics, put the bookmark back in, and hammered the clasp closed. It was actually surprisingly easy, and punching new holes, obviously, but the hardest part is measuring it correctly. But I measured it for the Midori MD notebook so that it would fit perfectly, and it fits beautifully. So that's my daily journal. And then the full size I use for the not daily journaling, like the language notes or travel or things like that. I haven't traveled in a while because of, everything going on, but currently planning a few things in the works. We're trying to get that set up, and I'll be taking the full size as travel journals then as well. But yeah.
Kaylin, that was amazing. And I too love those MD notebooks, and I use them all the time. And I have the leather notebook that comes with it. And it immediately got a lot of patina.
Mhm.
And it's not the same patina as the Traveler's Notebook. And I have to say, I used it, and I've got 2 different sizes, and I love that paper so much because they're thicker notebooks, because I write a lot. And, you know, the refills, I just tear through them. But anyway, my long story short is that notebook, I had to abandon it as much as I love it. And I'm going to pick it up at a later time. But I'm totally I want to take my other olive that I use every day as like a planner, and I want to cut it down and do that for my morning pages, because that is my favorite color, and I have an extra one, and then I can use it for personal and pleasure, which I think would be really awesome. So that is amazing. You're here in Tampa, right?
I am. I'm actually like a mile and a half away from you guys.
Maybe I can get you to hack my notebook so I don't have to tear it up myself, and I can get you to help me do that.
I can absolutely do that.
This is so exciting. This is great.
Caitlin, were you at the big, there was a big meetup we had several years ago in Ybor City?
Yes, I was.
Yes, because I remember your notebook.
Yeah.
Because I think it was actually in that open loop that we played. Did you know?
It was, yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Well, have you heard of the TWA? Is it a hotel? The TWA
Yes.
hotel?
My brother actually just told me about it like last week. And he was like, if we win the lottery, we're just going to go stay for a week. Because apparently it's pretty pricey, but it sounds incredible.
Yeah. Well, you know, Blackwing is the pencil that we carry here, and they do special editions, and they did a special TWA edition.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So I'll have to give you one when you come help me hack my notebook.
I would love that.
Thank you. I'll bribe you with that. We do.
Yeah. So, all right.
Who else wants to share?
Yeah. Who's
This is
next?
so much fun.
Don't be shy.
Diane and Ashley, do you have anything you want to share? Yes, thank you. All right. Okay.
They
Can you
do.
unmute
They want to
yourself?
share.
You can unmute yourself.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hi. Hi. I'm Diane. This is my daughter, Ashley. Hi. I have 9 TNs, and I just recently got the Pan Am one with all the goodies, Kaylin. They're all in there. So exciting. I put the patch on the inserts, but this was like my unicorn, and I'm so happy I got it. I got it off of Etsy. But I've been a huge fan of the paper seahorse. I was watching Skylar Hand's videos on YouTube years ago, and she talked about coming to your meetups, and that's how I found out about the TNs, and it just kind of spiraled into an addiction from there. And then my daughter, I recently got my daughter into it, and she does this really cool thing, which is so different from like how we usually. Yeah, I don't write. I like.
Wow.
She's
That's
an
beautiful.
artsy person. I'm new to this really. So I have background started, but I haven't necessarily finished them yet. And I'm so new. Like this is the first time I've worked in the TN. That was more like Encanto inspired. I'm not done with that page, but I really like working with watercolors. So I like doing more of the art aspect instead of writing, because I don't really like my handwriting, so but it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a whole new world. And I love it. I do more like traditional, that's the cover for
collage and
yeah, that's the cover to my insert. And but I do both from, you know, trips and
regular journaling. We went to the Ringling. We live in Rotunda West. So we're not far from you. It takes us, what, about an hour and a half to get to you. We miss coming to your store. So fun. But yeah, we're happy to be here. I love everything Travelers Company and the notebooks. So thanks for doing this, for hosting it. We're happy to be here and be part of the community. Yeah, fun.
And Ashley, this is Danny. I don't know if you're aware, they do have wonderful watercolor paper inserts.
Yes.
So it looks like that's what you're using already, but just in case you didn't know, that paper's really nice, isn't it?
It is. It's lovely. It holds a lot of water and it doesn't curl up.
Right.
It's lovely. Yeah.
Your
Thank
work's
you.
beautiful.
Yeah, that's great. I think that those blank pages, they do something to you and want to slap something down. So,
Yeah.
I did want to, Florence, we see her here. She was our Instagram winner when we did the giveaway, and she is a prolific journaler. And we have her examples that are on the web, and we'd like to share those now. Florence, are you here with us, or?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, good. Do you want to talk us through a little bit of this, and we can drive and you can talk?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So I've been using the Travelers my TN I think for now almost 10 coming on like eight-ish years. So I got it when it was like still the Midori. And sometimes I still like find myself calling it Midori only because that's like, you know. But when April contacted me to do this interview, it was like hashtag goals because I just love the brand so much. I use the vertical like Alyssa to do memory keeping. I love putting like ephemera washi using stamps, but I put in like a memory a day in it. I don't use it for planning. I also was I got into like camping, so you'll see a lot of like Yosemite nature posts in my my interview. But yeah, I just love this brand so much. Collaging is definitely my favorite. I do use it for daily-ish journaling, but I love using it especially when I travel. That's like what I use it for the most. I feel I get the most out of it when I travel. I linked this into the comment section if y'all want to check it out, and then you could also see my Instagram on Live Life and Create as well. So yeah. Oh, I also did this interview when they just released their California insert. So if you haven't checked that out, I know Amy said she's from California. I don't know if there's any other West Coasters, but their California inserts are like amazing. The letterpress on it is just so chef's kiss. So hopefully y'all get one in Florida. I would love for them to make one for you guys, especially for your store. But yeah, I don't know if anyone has like any questions. I don't have any more to say really about my style. I sent the link a while ago, Melissa. It's like all the way up in the chat when people started sharing their style.
We can also send a link in the follow-up email that we're going to do.
Okay,
So
cool.
yeah, Florence, I'm so glad you could join us. And, you know,
Yeah,
she's our
no
Instagram
problem.
winner. She shared with me that she's been on Instagram for 10 years and she's never won anything.
Yeah,
And
I was so excited. I was just like, oh my gosh. I've been on it for so long, and you kind of like, people tag me and then I'll tag them back, but I just got into this like, oh, I'm never gonna win, you know? But yeah, thank you for choosing me.
Yeah, well, we love a good giveaway, and I'm so glad it was you, because if anybody needed it, it's you. Instagram is a lot of work to keep up with all those things. So yes, as a partner store, we're hoping, when we first became one, they said that they had showed us what they did in, I think it's Madrid, and they did custom inserts and they did stickers and they did a map and they did all these things, and they were exploring what to do in terms of partner shops and how that would work. And when we met them, they gave me all the examples and they talked about how it might work. And just to share with you quickly, we are getting our own custom stamp here in the Paper Seahorse, and we were able to design that with them. And then we were able to, each partner store is going to get a postcard. And so you can go to each different location or purchase online and you can collect all the different postcards, which is going to be kind of cool too. And so those are two things to look forward to. So we're very excited about that. And yes, I see, Caitlin, that brass tag would be really cool. I think that, yeah, that seahorse would look awesome. So okay, so we still have some more time. Would anybody else like to share anything? Just raise your hand, just start talking. So Melissa, you have an incredible row of washi tape there that I'm coveting the way you display that. Do you want to share with us? Do you want to unmute yourself?
Hi there. Sure.
Hi.
Total newbie to the Traveler's Notebook. I just think they're so beautiful and well made. What I want to use them for, and I barely started, was just doing art in them. So like I love to follow like some different YouTubers like James Burke and Helen Colebrook and stuff like that. And so I've just been, and I took your class too. Oh, the watercolor workshop thing. That was the first thing I did. But then like, I like to do fun stuff. Like these are paint pens. And so like I said, just started. This is like a Helen Colebrook thing I saw on there. And this one's a James Burke one. Love James Burke. And then I love getting art boxes too, like art snacks. And getting all those beautiful things. So this was the latest one I got. This one was actually, what was this one? This was Scrawler, which costs too much and I probably won't do it again. Like Scrawler box had this really cool like thing to do with metallic paint pens. And so like I was doodling with that to try it out. And anyway, I do art. I'm an art teacher. I just am very, very new to this. I'm very excited to be here. I hope sometime I can come to your store because I'm down in Bradenton. So yeah, not far at all. And I keep thinking I want to go. I just don't travel up there very much. So
well, hopefully we'll do this again live and you can make the trek. I love your shirt. Where did you get your shirt?
Yes. Oh, that was Universal. Yeah. Me too. I'm a Star Wars. Yeah. I'm a Star Wars nerd too. So like,
yes, I saw that BB-8 in there.
Yeah. So anyway, if you do this like in person in the future, I'm really excited to come and do some more stuff at your shop. So thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for being here. So I think there's only one or two other people. You don't have to share if you don't want to, but if you do, now's the time. No takers. All right. Cindy went. Danny, do you want to go? Do you want to share your notebook?
Danny.
No pressure.
I actually didn't bring my notebook with me because I was so concerned about doing all this Zoom stuff correctly. So I don't have anything to share, but I have been addicted to this since I actually met Tona and started being affiliated with the shop. So what, 6 years now, Tona, the shop's been open? And my favorite one that I've done was my last trip to Paris. These are so great to travel with. You can cram everything in them. You can sit and reflect on your day, and you can look back at things years later. So they are addictive. And my favorite color is still the Pan Am blue. But next time I'll bring my, yeah. I see Diane there. But next time I'll bring mine to share. But I journal in it. I've gotten to where I'm doing watercolor in the passport, especially to kind of rein myself in so I'm not so overwhelmed by a full page. But they fit any need you have in life, whether you use them constantly or put them away for a while and bring them back out. But I don't have an actual one to share this time, so I'm off the hook.
That's great. What Danny didn't share with you, which I'm going to share with you, is that she was one of the first people I met that uses her passport as a wallet. And is there anybody here who uses theirs as a wallet? Oh, there's a couple people.
Yeah.
So for those of you who haven't, and I've met many men that come into the shop that are buying accessories that want to use it. And it's great because you can put your credit cards in there and nobody can see it. You always have paper and pen with you. Usually there's like that zipper that goes with the one that you can put your credit cards in, so you can put your money, your loose change. I find that when I travel, I use it as my wallet because I have my passport there too. And it's small enough that it's not huge and bulky, and you can keep it on your person depending on where you're traveling. I mean, I usually do that when I'm going on a big trip, but it's so handy. And then you have it with you. And if you get to go to Japan, all the train stations and everywhere, they have those special stamps. And then you can get all the stamps in your notebook, which is what I did when I went there. But that's a fun thing to do if you haven't checked out some of the videos that are online and different ways people use it. I think that the wallet is really cool. So,
and I quit using digital calendar. So my passport calendar is basically my life, and especially pre-post COVID, whatever we're in right now, it's a great size to just carry with you. So I have that constantly, but my life's kind of caught up in that passport.
Yeah, that's great. And the several men that I've met that have come into the shop, they love it because it literally, and they shouldn't be doing it, but it fits into their back pocket. Like they can carry it with them easily and not lose it. And, you know, when phones were a little bit smaller, really most everybody has your phone and you have your wallet, notebook, and it makes kind of a tidy package, which I thought was very interesting. So, so we have someone who's just joined us, Vanessa. Vanessa, would you like to share anything now that you're here? If you want to unmute yourself.
Can I be heard? I'm so sorry. I'm in the car.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So I have a little bunny that was nearly almost on the brink of death last week, and he's just recovering, and we had a follow-up and they wouldn't change my time. So I'm so sorry about coming in and out today, but I do use traveler's notebooks. I was actually inspired to purchase my first one by one of the attendees here. Her name is Eliza, and I have a passport. I have 2 passports, and I love the passport size. I just ventured and got a standard because I wanted to try watercoloring, and they had the watercoloring insert that is in that standard size. So that's my journey of starting into this with everyday planning with the passport. I try to, use it for all my work things, all my family things, memory keeping, collaging. So it's been really exciting, and so glad to be able to join this event today, even though it's in this way that I'm doing from the car. But also happy that I can actually also join in the recording later on. So I appreciate that so much. And thank you to the hosts for putting this together for us. And I'm actually local to the Tampa area as well. So hopefully I can check out the store sometime soon too.
Oh, good, Vanessa. That's wonderful. Yes, and I would love to see what you're doing with your watercolor in that regular size. They also make that insert in the passport size, which I know that's very tiny, but it comes in that size as well. So this is the last chance. Is there anybody else who wants to share anything? Cindy?
Sorry, I couldn't think when you asked me before, but just real quick from the letter writers, you get so much good mail with so many good stamps. Well, I keep the letters organized, but when I get stamps from Etsy, they make the envelopes so nice. So I keep, some elements of what they do on the envelopes, or if the envelope is really cute, but I mean the stamps, I got it up there. There we go. The stamps are so awesome. And then we do some canning. And so I have one for canning. And we kept all of our little notes because we couldn't really replicate everything twice. So we said, we better write down how we're changing things up, or if we went and got organic stuff so we could remember when it was in season. And we do some dehydrating and recently some juicing. So I keep track of all of that in here, just because we like everything. And somebody mentioned Linda a couple of times, and I took the watercolor class. So I have a little watercolor journal. And I mean, if you haven't taken her class, you're missing out, because she is so lovely. But so I did some stuff there. And then I got started and messed up and got started, like I was real judgy about what I was doing. And so then I took that book and I just collaged over top of everything that I had done before. And then every now and then when I have stuff that I love, but I just can't find a place for it, this one is I just go in there and throw the stuff in there because I don't want to part with it. But and then I had one where I stuck some recipes, because I have most of my recipes online, but some of them, you just take out of a magazine or something. And so I keep them in that little book. So those were some other ways I use it also.
That's great. I have one like that I started that is for traveling, every place that I'd ever want to go if I read an article or I saw a photo. And so that I could manifest being able to go on that vacation. And so the first part of it is international. And then the second part of it is everything in Florida that I want to make sure that I get to at some point. So, but I haven't done the recipes, which I think that's a great idea.
Remind me to give you my little map that I have for that fit inside the journal. One is of the world and one is of the United States. Just remind me to give you one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. That's a great thing. Okay. So yes, Linda wanted to be here. She's an avid Traveler's Notebook user, and she's a letter writer, and she's great. And I can't see anything. And we miss her. So hopefully she'll be here at the next one. So I think we're going to now. I'm not sure what happened to April. Oh, she's coming in 3 minutes. Oh, she thought it was tomorrow. Huh, it's today. She's getting ready right now. So yeah. So I'll just keep going. I'm just talking to her now, and then we'll have her give us the presentation. I think that what we might want to do now is, do we want to, we could go ahead and do another giveaway. Danny, do you want to do that? So we were actually going to do one that was the person who was the further, we thought about who is the furthest away, who traveled the farthest, or who had the most amount of notebooks, right? So
Right. That will be, let me mute myself for a minute.
yes, let's just do that.
Well, why don't we do it based upon who has the most actual travelers notebooks, the leather notebooks? Do I have anyone who's got more than 10? 9? Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give Tona a number between 1 and 10 and let you two, whoever comes closest.
Because they're both local,
I
I
like how
think.
Danny just comes up with
You guys
these
are
on the
local, so.
spot. He's got good game rules.
Okay, so you came up with a number
All right,
between
so-
what? I'm not looking.
I see the number. It's a real number here.
Okay, so I've written a number, Diane and Kaylin, whoever comes closest between the number I've written from 1 to 10.
It's like the price is right. Oh my gosh, okay.
Okay, Kaylin said
So
8.
go. 8, Kaylin said 8, Diane, 3.
And Diane is 3.
And the answer is...
This is what Danny wrote.
8, Kaylin, you hit it on the nose, so.
The actual number, so that's great. Congratulations.
Congratulations. So this is the one that whoever got that wasn't
Right.
present. So Kaylin, this
Right.
is yours.
Okay.
And I think free spirit is appropriate for Kaylin too.
Yes.
So Diane, almost, thank you.
So when you come over to help cut Tona's notebook and get your TWA pencil, you can grab your prize. How's that?
Yes.
All right.
And I also didn't say before that I thought you have a brave heart, because I don't know that I could do that.
What, cut your notebook?
Yeah.
Just gonna cut her out.
Oh, yeah. So while we're waiting for April, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of do things a little out of order. I'm going to, I was going to go over the make and take, but does anybody have any questions before we move on? Or any other comments? Yes, Melissa?
Well, I was wondering when your store is open.
We are consistently open on Saturdays now in the afternoon from 12:30 to 5.
Okay.
And most people, if they need to come in at a different time, they'll just call or email and we can see you during the week. Because I'm here, but I'm in and out. And a lot of sometimes I'm in a meeting or I might not be here. So, we're hoping for a little bit more consistency. But right now, until I can convince Cowgirl Danny to come back, it's just me for the past 2 years. And then some people, if they're have an emergency or they can't wait, they'll purchase online and then they'll do local pickup. And then they can pick it up at any time because I can just leave it in the mailbox for them. So, but sometimes people need to come in and they want to, physically see and touch things. So
I have to say, Tona's much more fun than I am, though. So you should try and book it with her.
Don't say that. But we're open Saturday afternoon. So yeah. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly show you the make and take. So do you want to share the screen? So I have a couple different ideas that I just wanted to share with you and some of the items that we put in your kit. And there's a couple of different things I wanted to share with you. The first one is in your kit, you should have gotten these 2 postcards. And this is the sketch paper refill. And it's great because you can pull it out and you can make a postcard. And this is actually what Linda did, is she used this paper and she created, excuse me, that beautiful Dali postcard that you saw on this sketch paper. And you can also cut that sketch paper down if you just wanted to do regular 4x6, but I put some samples in there. It's not just for sketching like pens or paper or markers. It also does watercolor. It's just really good. There's a lot of mixed media artists who've used it and told us that they love it. And what I also wanted to tell you is that if you create a work of art, and Cindy, you've already heard this from me at the Dali workshop, if you create something or draw something, or maybe watercolor that you don't want to get messed up in the mail, you can use this clear envelope that I gave you. And I also gave you this clear envelope, and these are plant-based. They're not plastic, it's eco-friendly, and you can put your letter or your postcard in here, and then you can put the stamp on the outside and put it through the mail. And then there's also the glassine envelope, which you can use as well. And you can put your postcard in that too, if you wanted to, or you can just use these for something else. But I love letter writing, and I wanted to encourage you to do that. So the other thing is, this is, since I have this out, this is your ephemera pack that has all sorts of modern and vintage materials that I just thought is fun, because a lot of people collage in their notebook. You could also create your own postcard, and you could use some of these pieces in there. And then what I'd like to show you is, this is just a regular old, plain old envelope. And if you want, and some of you might have already done it, is you can actually take a envelope and tear it apart, and then you can find the size that you like, and then you will have a pattern for any envelope that you want to create. And in your kits, there are 2 different newsletters, and when you're done, perhaps you'll want to share it with someone, or maybe if you've ordered, you have a duplicate, and it would be really cool. You can take the actual newsletter and you can make your own envelope, which is what I did here. And then in your kits, I gave you these handy double-sided stickers, which is like double-sided tape, and you can actually use it to seal this up, or you could seal this, and you could put your letter, or you could put your postcard in your upcycled envelope, which I think is a super fun thing to do. So I could go on and on about all the fun things to do, but I just wanted to share one more, because we have the you have this tag, and I find that because I use Traveler so much, I get a lot of different inserts, and then if it's the sketch or the watercolor, or maybe one like this where I took all the cards out, I have this left over. And I don't want to ever just throw it away, because it's so nice and it's cool. And what could I do with it? I could cut this in half. I could make a postcard with it, or I could use this and I could make a pattern, and I could have a tag. So I encourage you to think of different ways, since we're talking about upcycling, to do that. Like, these are the ones that are left over from the postcards that I sent you. And it's, again, this amazing cardstock. And so you could just cut this and make it into a postcard that you could send, and then and you could decorate it yourself, or you could make tags, or you can make a little book. One of our favorite people who comes into the shop is Tammy, Paper Tams on Instagram, and she's also the co-founder of the Letter Writers. And what she has done is she's like me. She tries to like recycle and save everything. And what she has done is she's taken these covers, and she's got so many different inserts that she loves, and she's actually taken them apart and put it back together and made her own custom insert that she loves. So that's another cool idea that you can do. So those are the pieces that are for the make and take. And so I hope that gives you some extra inspiration in your kit, so you can keep making afterwards. So we have a special guest. This was a last minute, and I'm so glad it happened. April is with us, and she is a representative from Travelers Company USA, and she is also on the West Coast. So she It's very early. April, we have several people here from the West Coast.
Oh,
So
oh yeah, I saw
yeah.
some familiar faces or names. in this
Yeah.
room.
So April is going to share with us some of the new releases for 2022.
I know it's easy to say that again. Hi, everyone. My name is April. I work for Design Phil America and also for Travelers Company USA. And just now, Tona was talking about making that cover, and I was thinking, I think I saw, was it Florence in this room right now? She uses the Traveler's Time cover and made it like the cover out of her insert. And I thought that's another fun way to do that too, if you have the Traveler's Time. But yeah, let me share my screen. And I don't know if you guys had already seen the new items. It's really, really exciting. And I would love to go through them in depth and kind of like describe the concepts behind it. But Tona, can you let me share screen as a way to disable in Zoom for me to share screen? I have a presentation prepared. Let's see. Give me 1 second.
Done that before. Is it in the preferences?
Hi, Lisa. I know. Have you guys like saw it from?
Okay, we should be good to go.
Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Awesome. It's exciting. I was so excited when I saw these back in last year, end of last year, and I was like, how can I keep this to myself without telling anyone? It was really hard. So as you guys might have seen, each year Traverse Company does something special around this time that I would hope next year will be this way too. And this year it's called Keep on Traveling in Your Mind with Traveler's Notebook. And you'll see 4 exciting sets of items that is going to be released on April 14th. And as the name says, the concept is that even though right now with coronavirus, with the pandemic around the world, it's really hard to travel, but with Traverse Notebook, it's what we make of our memories, right? So despite us being stuck in one place, it is totally doable for us to use our imagination and travel wherever, or even reminiscing about past travels. And that's a great way to pass your times as well. And the world of Traverse Notebook began with imagination. So for those who have been to Japan, have you been to Traverse Factory? So that was out of the imagination of Traverse Company team wanting a hub to meet Traverse Notebook users. And right now there's, let me count, like 5 actually, with the latest edition partner Traverse Factory in Japan right now, where you can go and look and touch those stuff. And then if you have ever gotten a Traveler's Times, which is a magazine like a paper thing that you can get at partner shops, or if you order through this online store, those came out of imagination for wanting a newsletter to kind of talk to travelers from around the world. So yeah, those are all kind of like the root of how Traverse Company items come about. And as you can see, 4 themes basically: Traveler's Hotel, Traveler's Airlines, Traveler's Train, Traveler's Record, in 2 regular size and 2 passport size. So we'll start with the Traveler's Hotel and kind of dive in from there. So the copy, these are all written by Ijima-san, who is the creative director of Traverse Company. He actually has a blog, but it's in Japanese. But each time he kind of writes about how he come about these ideas, his thoughts around it, and I just thought I could tell you guys a little bit by translating it. But Traverse Hotel, when you're tired, in life, we want something to kind of hide away or relax or get away from it all. Traverse Hotel will be the place for you. And it's interesting, he said this hotel is hidden somewhere really, really hard to find. In his imagination, it's among icebergs. It's in the forest. It's when you're walking and going and you're like really, really tired, then it comes to you. Like, then you'll find the hotel. And then you'll be welcomed by this amazing receptionist. There's like a pianist playing in the lobby. Your room is spacious, a bed and a desk. No TV though. We really like analog. So when you're relaxing in this room, you can sit down with your notebook, you open the page and you can write about where you've been or think about where you want to go. And so that's kind of the whole idea of this made up Traverse Hotel. But he also said that's his imagination. He really wanted you guys or whoever has this set to, when they hold it, to remind themselves of, oh, what is that trip I've been on, that hotel that gave me such sense of security and reliability and like relaxation. And that's the feelings that he wants to evoke through people owning this Traverse Hotel series. So there's a little illustration that he did. He loves drawing in his Traverse notebook, and that's usually the image you'll see on the Traverse Company Instagram. And so this set, my personal favorite, I'm totally getting this set. I have so many Traverse notebook, yet I am adding this one to my collection. It's on brown, regular size, but the stamping is a rose gold foil. And what I love, as you guys would probably see, is the interesting new color dust bag. It's green and it's designed to look like a laundry bag, which is super unique, just like what you would expect when you go to a hotel. And then the sticker sets, as you can see, kind of like mimics hotels you might have like seen in movies or like, you know, as he says himself, he loves Wes Anderson. And when people saw these, he's like, oh, it kind of reminds me of Wes Anderson. And so this is totally what he had like envisioned when he was designing this set and color story. Like this one on the rightmost with like this little castle by the lake. I personally think it looks like Banff. If you guys been up to Canada, like there's this hotel next to Lake Louise with like the ice mountains. And yeah, so this is my personal favorite, in my opinion. And then kind of looking even deeper into the details, you'll see the charms is in the shape of a suitcase, which he thinks like represents to him the biggest thing about travel. And then like the little key charm, which you can add to the bookmark, you know, like each Traverse notebook has like a little bookmark at the end. So you can tie that here, a little key to unlock your Traverse notebook. The pencil, you know, feels a little out of place, but it's from that idea, you know, when you go to stay at hotels, you know, there's always some like prepared stationery for you to write down things. So this is kind of to mimic that feeling. The stickers, of course, and if you open the insert, my favorite portion, a little room service menu. Like I wish I could buy this on my own extras, but this is super cute. You know, coffee, a little snack, just something that makes you feel like this place is gonna treat me well. And so this is Traveler's Hotel. So I hope you guys will enjoy that, whoever is kind of thinking about getting that. The next one is Travelers Airline. The coffee, I love it. The interesting thing about this plane is that no one tells you where they're going or where you're gonna get to. You only know when you arrive. In Ijima's creation of the series, actually, you guys might think, hey, the airplane, isn't that like, it's been around, the Traverse Company core, and I have to agree, it is definitely one of the major motifs of Traverse Company. The whole idea of an airplane being able to take us across boundaries of nations and being able to visit something new, somewhere new. And that's why the plane has always been a big part of the Traverse Company lore. And in his concept, this plane goes everywhere, like from developing countries to like big cities. And you know, I feel like it's a metaphor to us in life. Like we're constantly just like heading towards one direction, and there's not necessarily a final destination, just as he says. However, throughout on the way, you're gonna collect a lot of memories. And when you finally get there, you're gonna end up with a book filled with amazing memories and, you know, things that made you who you are today. So that was the concept behind Traverse Airline. And I was just for fun. I don't know if any of you guys had enjoyed Traverse Notebook from back in the days. Like, these are collections throughout Traverse Company histories that I pulled out that has like elements of planes and like collaborations with other plane themed things. And can anyone, I know it's like only I'm talking, but does anyone kind of know which year these are from? Has anyone been lucky enough to get their hands on some of these? I myself was only able to get the Pan Am series and maybe I think the tape from the Hawaii airline, but the Banff is a cargo train, a cargo plane. The Hawaiian airline is obviously Hawaii, and then kind of like introducing people to it. Or maybe people are talking in chat. Maybe I can check that. But anybody has, I was wanting everyone to like kind of guess which year these are from. But obviously planes are kind of throughout the 2016, 2017 diary as well. And it's really fun. So here's the answer. 2014 was the first time they collaborated with the airline brand. And then spring 2015, the Hawaiian airline, and then July 2015, Pan Am. And I was lucky enough to get one of these inserts. That was when I was like 1 foot into the Traverse Notebook system myself. And so Traverse Airline, this is what he imagined if there's like a poster for Traverse Company of the airline. This is what it would look like. And the set is a blue Traverse notebook, one of our most popular colors, I would say, in recent years. Have a nice trip, it says. And then here's our other items that goes with it. So, oh, I didn't mention that about the charm, huh? This charm has a special fixture where it could like kind of like pretend it's gliding along the band. I know it used to be like the ones with like a little hook where you can like hook it onto the band and you can move around, you know, you can do that. Like, but then this one has this like kind of mechanism where it could like glide along the band. I wish I have a sample with me so I can show you, but we're also waiting. And so the stickers obviously designed to look like luggage label, airmail, plane motifs. Definitely, if you had missed out on previous editions of the Airline One, or if you have not been able to go to Travelers Factory airport in Narita airport, that's where typically you could get one that has like an airplane theme regular notebook. This would be the chance to kind of hop on. Like I tell many people, this is your time. You're finally able to get a Traverse Airline Traverse notebook. And then the pencil is like when you are on the plane filling out custom forms. Does anyone remember that? I mean, do people still do that? I think they do. And then this one, the refill's designed to look like a boarding pass, but it's a notebook at the same time. It also looks like that pamphlet you get at the front end of the seats if you've been on a plane recently. So that's the whole design concept, and I hope people like that too. Finally, well, not finally, we're getting into the passport size. This is Traveler's Train, a sleeper, long distance train that just goes a long way. And there's a dining cart in it. You sit in your seat and you look out the scenery. It changes from seasons to seasons, and you meet friends along the way. I love the train series. This is a locomotive charm, and the foil stamp. I believe it's a kind of like a brassy gold foil stamp, and comes with a refill with a beautiful letterpress insert. Like this is the kind where it like stamps the red first, then stamps the blue, then stamps the black. So it's not like traditional printing where like just prints in one go. This is really, really nice letterpress technique made in our Nagarayama factory where we create, you know, all the paper for MT, for Traverse Company, for Plotter, all the other brands. We have really good letterpress skills in our Japan factory. And it comes with a brown dust bag and stickers, and you might see it some wood stamp, which is something new in the story, I think, or the product story of Traverse Company in a while. And some of you, I don't know, most people, there's many people that has been to Japan and went to Traverse Factory Tokyo Station and might have gotten a Traverse notebook there. And you might have gotten the Traveler's Train before. This is a gold, I think it's a gold stamp on brown, I believe. It looks camel-y, but they call it brown. But you'll see, the design is completely different. So all the more reason to get one more. That's what I tell people. If you're worried you already had a train one, it's definitely a different design. They kind of envision a new kind of train for this collection. And I think it's a very nice touch. They don't want people to get duplicates or have to worry about getting duplicates. And for each release, it's always something new. So the train charm, again, moves along the band, just like the plane, just like the luggage. And what I love is that they came out with wooden mounted stamp this time. And then this one looks like a little ticket stub. And then this one's like a train with a speech bubble, so you can use it on your daily pages and your diary, the diary refills, whatever you like. And the stickers, of course, are just amazing. They're big stickers, and they're great for decorating and filling out your refill cover. And then finally, Traveler's Records, one of my favorite too. This is also one I'm kind of like, oh shoot, do I have to get this too? Music enriches our lives, our hearts. When loneliness strikes, it can help you out like a friend. I'm sure a lot of people relate to music a lot, and that is like one of, if Ijima has a few hobby, music is definitely one of them. I do joke that, okay, maybe in this current Zoom, maybe people do understand, but this year the soundtrack theme came out, and then he gave us the list of the soundtrack, and I'm like, Ijima, you're definitely in another time, so another age gap. I can see it. Like, I don't know any of those movies, but those are definitely nostalgic to you. But maybe you guys can relate a little bit more. But like, he loves old school records, cassette tapes. He loves all the songs from the 80s. And he really wants to bring his vision of what a Traverse record would look like. He said it's like an indie brand. It like travels around the world like a caravan. None of those corporate financial deals with like labels or with like radio station, none of that. Straight to the customer, bringing music on a van, on a caravan. That's what he had imagined himself for the Traverse record. Here's his DJ friend holding on to the Keep on Traveling with His Mind, In Your Mind series. The Traverse record also has a very pretty green dust bag. It says, have a nice trip with good music. And I can imagine people bringing this in their car, if you're going on a long drive, the music that you're listening to as you go from one place to another. It's kind of, music always accompanies us, right? Like even when you're traveling to any short distance or long distance. And I think just like Traverse Notebook, what you listen to, it hits your ear, it reminds me of an era where you've been, that's kind of what Traverse Notebook is like. And it comes with stickers, the self-stickers too, stamps too. And thank goodness we still know what a cassette tape is, because soon maybe it wouldn't be as relatable anymore, but I definitely want this stamp for sure, write down the tracks that it's been really enticing you, write down the records that's been enticing you, the music you've been listening to. And the reason he had stuck to these is because you guys know, the more you use the cassette tape, the more you play the records, it creates like little scratches or little imperfections along the physical thing that plays the music. So just like leather growing with you, these analog way of listening to music, they change over time as well, and they accumulate like changes to the music with like the little scratches or little pauses as you grow. And so that's kind of what he wanted to envision with this music record theme. rather than digital distribution, which is like perfect all the time. These are things that become imperfect, but then also kind of tells our story, if you know what I mean. And here, stickers, you got, if you open the refill, you'll see 2 giant cassette tape. You can write about your A-side tracks, your best stories, turn to the back, write about your B-side stories, things that may not be as good, but also very interesting. The charm spins, so you can be a little DJ when you're fidgeting, or if you're like, want to have some fun with your traveler's notebook, it's a super cute design. You can be your own DJ, and the stamps as well. I just really like this collection. So that rounds out all 4 of Keep on Traveling in Your Mind with Traveler's Notebook. And these are going to be releasing on April 14. I don't know when Tona's going to have them online, but they will be available. I think it is definitely a little limited in the first run. However, I do think they had wanted to do a second production. So even if you didn't get it the first time, I think around summer, they're gonna try to give every store a chance to order more. So don't fret if you see everywhere else like pre-orders, or I don't think there's even any pre-order, but people were like sold out in other countries before they launch. So this is just kind of, don't worry about that. And hopefully there'll be enough for everyone. So yeah, any questions about this series? Any questions you would like me to answer about what little nuances or more details, that kind of stuff, I'll try to answer them. Yeah.
Do you want to share, because I know there's 2 different sizes, maybe share the cost with us?
Oh, absolutely. So double checking, hold on. Let me pull up the thing. So the passport size, the set, the whole entire set, it's gonna be $98. And the regular size, if I'm not mistaken, should be around $112. So, my opinion, not too bad, considering the import costs and all that stuff from Japan. Our price is actually not that much more than Japan.
Right.
Yeah.
So Karen, to answer your question, I believe these are limited edition bundles and they're sets. I don't believe that these are sold individually.
They're packed in like this box.
Yeah.
It's all together.
Yeah. We placed our order some time ago. And so we're hoping that, even if we don't get the full order, they told us that we would get partial order. And we're not allowed to do pre-orders until it launches. But what I've been doing is, because we placed an order, is I've been taking people who are interested in certain items. I've been taking their name and phone number, and also told them to follow us on Instagram and in our email, so that they'll be the first to know when we do have it and it's posted live. But I can also keep like a running list of people who are interested, and then we'll contact you first. And if we get a hold of you, then I'll hold it. And if not, then, we'll have to let it go. But anyway, yeah, it's very exciting. This is a very large collection, and it's very different, with the rubber stamps and everything and all the charms. So it's.
Thank you, April.
Thank you guys so much for letting me join you guys.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let Randy take it now.
Okay. So to introduce you to another event that we have coming up, we wanted to share this with you.
Looking back at Earth is definitely life-changing. I think you've probably heard other people say that.
We were in orbit, and I looked out the window and I saw the Earth from space for the first time, and it took my breath away. Literally, it was breathtaking. I couldn't breathe for 30 seconds.
I was up there looking down at Earth thinking, everybody I know lives there, and everybody they know or have known all shares this one little place.
It's kind of changed the way I think about this place, the Earth. I think it might actually be paradise, and we're very, very lucky to have such a beautiful planet.
I'm surprised we don't treat each other more neighborly when we realize that we all share the same neighborhood.
So that's the point of putting that together was the idea that mindfulness is way more than meditation. It is about seeing more and seeing a bigger picture. Just love the sentiment about those astronauts seeing the Earth for the first time, saying everyone that I've known and ever known all comes from this one tiny place. And if we all knew how small this was, we would treat each other more like neighbors. So this is our perfect time for that kind of sentiment. So the reason we're mentioning that is that we have an event called Finding Flow, a paper and pen retreat. And this is going to be a day-long virtual conference featuring some of our favorite teachers. It's all about finding flow, finding that moment of peace and awareness. It's going to be featuring Esterbrook pens. Included in the package will be an Esterbrook pen made for this event, as well as the Travelers Company is also participating. We're going to be using the Travelers Company's spiral bound notebooks. We're going to be doing letters of affirmation. There'll be sound bowls, mudras, journaling, writing. Linda, the teacher that does our watercolor journaling class is going to have a very, very, very wonderful mindfulness drawing course. There'll be some speakers from Michael Soul, Lindsay Bugby from Postman's Knock, Amanda Camarada, letterer, is going to be lettering some inspirational quotes for us, and more. So stay tuned for that. That's right now scheduled for May 1st, and it'll be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'll make sure that this group definitely gets first notice of that.
So I think that we're right at noon. So it's been, it went by so fast. I can't believe it, the 2 hours. And we have one more giveaway, yes. So this one is the Wild Heart. I'm gonna let Danny do this. You need to unmute yourself.
Hopefully we'll have someone here for that. So I don't know what's going on, but I'll just walk you through this. With your tickets, you had a luggage tag. If everyone can pull that out, and on the back, if anyone has Wild at Heart written, this is our second giveaway, and it's a wonderful grouping of inserts. No one?
Oh gosh, wouldn't you know it?
I can't believe it. Okay, guys, no one.
No, I have a sticker, but it's on the back of the ticket, not the luggage tag.
No, this one is the luggage tag.
Well, okay.
What does it say?
What
it has next to the seahorse, it says Wild in green with a little heart.
Yes.
Yes, that's it. That's it. Yay.
Okay. Yay.
Kathy,
You're the
that's
Wild Heart
great.
winner.
I'm the newbie. Yay.
And Kathy, I
never
was
win
just going to
anything.
say, this is your first meetup virtually, you said too. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay. We'll be getting that out to you then.
So
That was
that
beautiful.
really is it. So, Tona?
Okay, everybody, thanks for coming. And like I said, we'll be sending a follow-up email. Special thanks to April for coming. And we'll have the recording and we'll send you a link to that. So you'll be able to see the whole meeting and how everybody shared, because it was just, it was really magical. So
Thank you so much again.
great morning. And I feel like it's a positive sign and things are, you know, starting to move in the right direction. So hopefully we'll be able to do this in person, and then we'll also do another virtual one later this year. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. And until next time, have a nice trip.